Understanding Helium Miner hotspots in Colorado Springs. If you're interested in using Helium Miner to mine Bitcoins, you may be wondering why they cost so much. You may also be wondering how many hotspots are in Colorado Springs. There are several factors you should consider, such as signal gain, loss of antenna, cable shielding. So here are some tips to help you get started. Cost of Helium hotspots. In order to earn Helium coins, you must purchase Helium Miner, and you want to use devices that store Helium coins. Once you've bought Helium Miner, you may find a place to place on your network. Best location for Helium hotspots is one that has a high elevation and close enough to other hotspots to receive signals from neighboring ones. The price of hotspots varies from $450 to $700 depending on the device's specifications. The new firmware will reduce the amount of computing power required for the device, which may affect the manufacturing costs, but the costs are likely minimal. Helium hotspots contain embedded lower run chip, which give them LOT capabilities. The chip is not replaceable by light miner firmware. The Helium Miner hotspot is a 5-volt power requirement when connected to the internet. Its electricity usage is approximately ELE 0.12 kWh per month, which is comparable to the electricity of a 5-volt light bulb. However, the electricity use is significantly lower than other mining devices. By comparison, an average Wi-Fi router is 20-watt power. Why Helium hotspots use about 12 watts? This means Helium Miner hotspots only use 8.64 per month, cost about $1.20 a month. Cost of Helium Miner hotspots varies from manufacturer to another. The common devices cost about $400. They typically use 5 watts of power and place near a window to maximize their coverage. Helium hotspot devices also use HNT currency, cryptocurrency that is. They require maintenance and don't use much electricity. They require only a few minutes of your time a day. Antenna cable shielding reduces signal gain loss. The omnidimensional antenna is the most popular choice for most Helium Miner users. This antenna reduces signal loss while transmitting over short distances and generally the easiest to install. A directional antenna, on the other hand, sends signals toward the front and requires more specified knowledge. Directional antennas are more useful when mining helium, HNT, a cryptocurrency. When choosing an antenna for Helium Miner, consider the geographicalness of the location. A flat rural would benefit from a 10 dBi antenna. Alternatively, a hilly location might require a low dBi antenna. Before installing the physical hotspot, developers must install the Helium console. This software includes management tools and network server capabilities, resulting in a faster, more reliable data transfer. It also enables developers to manage connectivity costs and monitor data activity. Antenna cable shielding will improve the signal strength. Antenna cable shielding reduces signal gain by loss by reducing the amount of electrical interference. Typically, the higher the signaling on the antenna, the better. If you're concerned about signal loss, make sure your cable is shielded with a good grade. This will prevent signal interference and maximize the distance between your antenna and hotspot. Signal strength, and this will depend on the number of locations of your Helium hotspot. The higher the number of hotspots, the more HNT you will earn. A strong RF signal is required to link Helium, and LMN 400 assembles signal strength high. Previously, European hotspot devices were rated higher output. New restrictions have limited this power. Location of hotspots. If you're interested in earning more HNT, the most important factor is where you place the hotspots. You can find out how many hotspots are near your Helium coverage by the map. These hotspots are the ones you should reach out for. These spots are the most lucrative because they earn you the most HNT per minute. To get started, you can install Helium Miner for PC. After installing the game, go to the Helium Explorer app on your computer or mobile device and find out where the hotspots are located. Then you can view how much HNT hotspot has been mined in the last 30 days. It's important to note that a hotspot may be inaccessible in several hours until it's synced with the block. However, the hotspot will resynchronize with the official blockchain over some time. Another way to find a hotspot is to use Helium Coverage Map website. The website will display all hotspots and their earnings. It'll also show how much HNT each hotspot earns per minute. This is a useful tool and a great way to get a possible location for helium mining. This way you can maximize your earnings. If you want to earn more helium, you should consider getting Helium Miner. You can also earn more helium coins by placing your hotspots in a strategic location around the world. To do this, you must have a good antenna. You can use helium's antenna lighting, harvesters, and McGill antennas to connect to your hotspots. If you need more antennas, you can always get them from Helium Community. Number of hotspots in Colorado Springs. There are several factors that determine the profitability of hotspots. In the Helium Miner game, the location of hotspots is a key, and it greatly impacts the mining potential. You can use your office, home, combination of both to find the most profitable location for your hotspot. If you have a lot of space for your mine renting, there are some advanced tools that can help you determine the ideal location. The first consideration when considering a location is the amount of space available. While small towns and suburban areas have plenty of room to expand, major cities and centers have been significantly in decline for mining revenues. In addition, smaller cities are sprawling suburbs. They have more land, but increase the number of hotspots. However, there are plenty of places to expand helium in Colorado Springs. The dense coverage of the area makes Colorado Springs an excellent choice for future coverage. There will be plenty of hotspots to connect there in the future. Colorado Springs is a fascinating city with plenty of room for growth. However, you should consider your neighbors' preferences and be sure to consider their location in Colorado Springs when determining where you place your hotspot. For example, if you live near a busy intersection, you could put your hotspot near a bus or gas station. A hotspot can be used to provide a secure connection for LOT units. In order to use helium in these units, you need Wi-Fi network. Conventional Wi-Fi has many drawbacks, including the lack of protection and limited range. As a result, a decentralized Wi-Fi network using long radio rays will dissolve and solve problems. Helium uses blockchain technology to maintain the network. People can set up hotspots on public space or the workspace. Helium miners are paid with helium tokens, which are rewarded for contributing to the network's maintenance. Earning potential of helium tokens. The network is based on radio frequency RF technology and broad coverage of LOT devices. Helium's proof of coverage algorithm offers privacy, scalability, and the ability to collaborate. The network is powered by a token HNT. Helium's HNT provides access to long-range, secure wireless help. This network has over 500,000 hotspots around the world and more being added daily. The proof of coverage model makes it possible for anyone to set up a hotspot and earn from relying on the data. To earn from the proof of coverage, hotspots must pass tests to be accepted by the Helium network users. With a supply and demand economic type of style, the Helium tokens simply pass the supply and demand model. Helium miners regularly initiate challenges from neighboring hotspots to ensure the accuracy of the data they rely. Nearby hotspots validate the information, relay the process through the HNT, and automatically send this to the hotspot app. However, the total earning potential of Helium tokens from Helium miner hotspots depends on the project performs in the future. While Helium is still relatively new in the crypto world, the potential for growth is huge. Although Helium is young, the project has long ways to go before it reaches its goals, but it's already made significant strides. The initial stage of Helium's growth was relatively slow, but the company managed to secure $53.8 million in funding from 4 funding rounds. If you can't project and maintain this pace, that's a bright future. Location and antenna are important factors. The higher the elevation of helium hotspots, the better. The higher elevation, the more likely signal will penetrate. It's best to avoid valleys if possible. The antenna reach directly correlates to earnings. If possible, coordinate with neighbors or use your office. These are advanced tools that help you determine the best location for helium miner hotspots. So I hope this information has been helpful. We will be back with more information on helium miner, and we will talk to you soon.